We just arrived at the hostel. Bạn khỏe không?
What's your name?
Tên tôi là Zain.
Zain.
So sweaty. A luxury little elevator. Feels like I'm going into a casino. I'm so sweaty. I'm full of mosquito bites or ant bites or whatever. Every time I close my eyes are stinging from all the wood smoke. And my back also hurts because I was bending down a lot to blow into the fire. And now we go to room number 506. Oh wow, there is a toilet.
Huh?
Oh, that's it. Oh shit. Yeah, baby.
Awesome.
Here we go. Oh,
Not bad.
alright.
And we have a view.
Indeed. Okay, so we've just arrived at Quan Hospital Cave. So from the 1964 till 1972, Cat Ba was bombed by the American army. A lot of atrocities happened, but Vietnamese people seem to have moved past that, and now they still want to show how they were dealing with the situation. So let's get inside this hospital and see how they dealt with that situation during the war. Each ticket cost 40,000. There's a little bit of a tricky path here, and then a little climb of stairs. Oh, fuck. It scared me. Look at that. As soon as I came out, who's that? It's very tiny. And a little desk. So apparently this is the kitchen room, but it's not much to see inside. But I mean, you can definitely picture maybe someone cooking there. This is the medicine room. Look at that. Right here you have the weapon room. Check this out. The very famous AK-47. Oh, look how it's worn. It's completely worn out. Look at that. The M30 machine gun. You can see some of the bombs here, the bomb shells. Of course, the M60 was the weapon that the American army was using back then. And it was actually built to weather certain conditions, but not the conditions of the tropical weather here in Vietnam, which was one of the reasons why they had massive casualties on the American side. Their guns jammed, they had to go through swamps, it was constantly raining. So yeah, the weapons weren't so effective as the AK-47. The AK-47 was very effective because it's just metal and wood. Here, there's a lot of systems and mechanism inside, and that wasn't water resistant, which led to a lot of deaths. You also have the CKC assault rifle, the PPSH-41, which was Russian made. Oh, we have even grenade launchers. Wow, lots and lots of weapons. All right, and right here, you have the room where I would assume that they would operate on people. I mean, just look at these. These are probably certain painkillers and antiseptics that they used. I guess this is also where they would lay their surgical tools. Funny how these dolls, or whatever they have cut fingers. You know, you can see the damaged fingers there, and here the person doesn't have fingers or toes, but I can assure you that there was probably limbs, whole legs cut off, and arms. And it's horrible. War is so bad. I can't believe that humans still go through that. I mean, why can't we just all get along, in the words of Rodney King? Let's go to the next horror room. So as you can see the tools here, this one is probably to pull out bullets. And those were to open up the skin so someone can pull it. You've got the mosquito nets to cover them. People were probably waiting here on the side while others are being treated. You look at the uniforms, it hasn't changed much because the army still wears green, but they had sandals. It's probably more effective on this terrain than big boots. Here we've got the meeting room, as you can see here. If you come in, I don't think it was just a meeting room, it was actually it was also the communications room where they would count all the logistics of the war, casualties, the battle plans. I mean, just look at these old radios that they had. Probably very reliable. I mean, look at the antenna on it. That's probably going to have a big broadcasting signal. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Ho Chi Minh, I believe. Right here you have the resting area or the sleeping room. I'm not sure which one, but it's probably where the wounded were resting. Now, I just saw this picture over here and I almost shed a tear because this is a picture from the past and you can see kids like there. I mean, I guess they were using very young people to fight the war. Oh, it just looks like everyone's cramped together. Everyone's hurt, they've got bandages everywhere. Can you just picture everyone crowded in here, trying to escape the constant bombing and people dying on the outside, and they're just trying to heal here and, try and get out of the war. Right, I mean, amongst all of this, though, there is a dining room here. And you see how, although it's a square table, the chairs are set to be circled because let me tell you something about the way Vietnamese people eat. It's one of the most attractive things I've seen. They each get a small bowl like this, okay? And I'm not gonna touch anything, but I'll just let you visualize it. Each one gets a bowl like that, and then in the middle, you have the rice dish, and then next to it, there will be the dish that they will be eating, whatever food they can get. And then small little plates of other things, like, you have some vegetables on the side, some sauces. And what everyone does, they take from the main dishes and pour into their bowls, eat that, and then if they need more, they can keep doing it. It's like a built-in mechanism with them, that sharing is a very normal thing to do. So even when they eat, everyone seems to be considerate about the proportions they're having. Not everyone's going to just eat more than the other. They're very respectful on the proportion that each one person gets. So that's something amazing about the Vietnamese culture. They really do everything together and they care about one another. That's something we're lacking these days. Maybe we have a lot to learn from these people, and traveling is the way to do it. Not only for the beautiful sights that we're seeing, but let's indulge in their culture instead of just seeing all the nice things that are catered for tourism. Of course, that's nice, but don't forget the aspect of actually learning from these people, because they went through a lot, and yet they're forgiven, forgotten, and moved on, and they welcome everyone with open arms and big smiles. Now, it smells very moist in here, and I'm assuming that this was probably a well where they had water. It doesn't smell nasty, so it wasn't some kind of cesspool or something where everyone was doing their basic needs. These rooms are empty, but yeah, that probably was a well. And the thing is, these caves probably had trickling of water going inside it, or they must have built some kind of pipe mechanism to allow that. But this is the exit, so I think we should actually go back and check out the second floor. But let's have a look here at this exit. So we came from one side, and this is the other side. You can see why they used this cave. I mean, even that is very crafty of the Vietnamese people, very well thought out. Cat Ba being bombed by napalm even. I mean, that was not even allowed back then, and it was still used. How disgusting. And napalm, for you who are not aware of what it is, it's just this carpet bomb of like pure fire and hell. People would burn. And it was sticky, so it would... Right, so if you just follow these step of stairs and you look there, there's a well, just like the other one. Now, I didn't really see any connection on the other one. Maybe they were using it as a reserve. But this one, if you follow me now, this was the washing area. And you can see the pipe here, which connected to the well over there. And the water supply was coming down here for them to wash. And this looks like the other type of wash, if you know what I mean. You can tell this because there is a little hole here and it goes down here. And even though washing from there, from the basins, it would trickle down here. So I'm assuming this was really the waste part. Everything would escape, and maybe if we can look around, we might find the other side of the hole. This is the second floor of the area. And what I'm assuming is this is probably where they had most of the soldiers here to receive orders. Or so like kind of the assembly place. I'm not really sure, that could be wrong information, but with the space this big, I would assume that the officers and they would get all the orders from here and they would tell it to all the soldiers while they're lined up here. I'm just trying to visualize how it would be. And we're not allowed to go in there, it's forbidden ground. So it must have been a tunnel, a huge network of tunnels all through the mountains, because you can really see that it's very built up over there. It is still very fascinating that they've built up a cave as a hospital. Like, you look in the pictures and they're like kids fighting that war. And I just couldn't help myself picture one of my students growing up and having to fight, when all he wants to do is learn and I don't know, be a cook or doctor or something else. Well, I guess you would still be a doctor here. So yeah, just as we noticed, you can see that pipe over there passing, which connects all the way through here and into that sewer room, or the toilets that we just saw. So yeah, that was definitely the toilets. All right, we've seen all of it. It's time to go now. I want to do more research, and there's actually a guy who we've been passing by him, and he invited me several times to have tea with him. And then today I thought, why not? So I just went and had a cup of tea, and I found out that he is 72 years old, and that he was a soldier in the war. So maybe we can interview him and find out more about how they faced and dealt with the situation.